multiplying by two-digit multipliers. Example, each basket holds 32 tomatoes. There are 21 baskets. How many tomatoes are there in all? And again, in solving a problem like this, we want to ask ourselves what's being asked, because by doing that we can make sense of the problem. And that's the whole key behind solving these problems, to make sense of it and to work it out in a way where it makes sense to us. Okay, so we have 32 times 21. So our multiplier 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 32 in this case would be considered a partial product because we don't have the final product yet. Okay, let's move over 1. Since we're multiplying by the tens column, the 2 in the tens column, we have to skip over 1, and now we're working with our tens column. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Now all we need to do is add. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 3 is 7. And of course, let's just bring down our 6. The total number of tomatoes we have in all is 672. Again, whenever you come up with an answer, ask yourself, what does this number represent? That's important. That allows us to think critically in working these problems.
This is an I-beam being lowered by a crane. The two men are helping to place the I-beam into its proper place. Think of all the math being used to construct this building. Look at those vertical I-beams in the ground. They have to be placed right and the holes lined up. Now these men are going to attach that I-beam onto the other cross I-beam. And if this building being constructed required 24 I-beams, and each side of the I-beam had 20 bolt holes, how many bolts do they need for the 24 I-beams? And you can see now as he takes that spike and lines up the holes, again you can think of the precision that is required to construct this building. Now he's tightening the bolt. Let's do the math. Each I-beam has 20 holes on one side and 20 holes on the other side. So we multiply 20 times 2 equals 40. So each I-beam needs 40 bolts. But there are 24 I-beams, so we want to figure out how many bolts do we need for 24 I-beams. So we multiply that by 24. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 0, 6, 9. So for the 24 I-beams, they need 960 bolts. A businessman is going on a trip to Japan for 14 days. He wants to estimate how much it will cost him to eat every day. He figures it will cost him about $40 a day to eat. How much would it cost the businessman to eat for the 14 days? Let's do the math. The business trip is for 14 days. The estimated eating cost per day is $40. And the question is, how much would it cost to eat for 14 days? So we have to multiply 40 times 14. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Now let's add these two together. 0, 6, 5. The estimated cost for eating out at $40 a day and for 14 days is $560. 12 of you go whitewater rafting in 3 rafts. It costs $65 for each to rent the raft. What is the total cost for the 12? Let's watch them go down the river. Let's figure the total cost. It costs to go whitewater rafting $65 a person. The question, how much is the total cost for 12? So we have to multiply 65 by 12. $65 is the cost for one person multiplied by 12. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. And 1 times 5, remember, to go in 1 is 5. And 1 times 6 is 6. Add the numbers together, 0, 8, 7. So for 12 people to go whitewater rafting, it costs $780.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.